Away we go on the Monday edition. Mr. Relevant, Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Will Sommers, Hunter Vaughn with you on this Monday following the Packers season coming to an end in heartbreaking fashion. In Chicago to the Bears, yet another meltdown as the Packers fall 31-27 on Saturday night. The Packers season is over, and there was plenty to talk about following that loss on Saturday still, as we're 2 days removed now from Will feeling good and me and Joshy not feeling so good. Total meltdown for Green Bay. They had a 21-3 lead at halftime. Only put up 6 points in the second half. They're outscored 25-3 in the fourth quarter. And the Bears come away somehow again with another come from behind victory. And something they've done all season and something the Packers have done all season, which is collapse in the biggest moments. You look at Cleveland, you look at Dallas, you look at Denver, you look at both games in Chicago, all 5 road games, 5 road collapses that led to either a loss or a tie in the Dallas case. So it was just kind of a beautiful summary of how chaotic this Packers season has been, and something that Joshy dubbed it several weeks back. Couldn't have rung more true than it did on Saturday night. You dubbed it, Joshy, the season from hell for the Green Bay Packers, and Saturday certainly felt like a game from hell as the Packers allow 25 points in the fourth quarter. I'll start with this. I said last week playing the Chicago Bears was the best case scenario for the Green Bay Packers, and for most of the game, it seemed like that was certainly the case, except they did something they struggled with. They struggled with something they've struggled with all season, and that is slamming the door shut. They struggled to do what Matt LaFleur has preached for years, and that is all gas, no bleep and break. But the issue was there was a hell of a lot of break on both offense and defense in the second half on Saturday. LaFleur, we will see whether or not he will remain the head coach in Green Bay at some point this week. I would imagine he will remain the head coach in Green Bay, but we'll talk about that in a bit. He's lacked that killer instinct his 7 years in Green Bay. You can name several games, especially in the postseason, where the Packers either A, had the opportunity to win the game, or B, were in a position to win the game and they collapsed under his tenure. It's happened a lot. He's 1-4 in his last 5 playoff games, including Saturday night, where they led 21-3 at the break. The team that went into the locker room at halftime was not the team that came out of the locker room in the third quarter. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed in the second half after having a really, really solid first half. The offense couldn't run the football. Josh Jacobs averaged under 3 yards a carry on Saturday night. The offensive line couldn't hold up. It's continually a disappointing end to a season in a game where the Packers give you false hope, because they looked like a different team when that game started on Saturday. They looked like the team that was ready to play a complete 60 minutes, except what the theme has been throughout the 2025 season for the Packers is they only play 15 minutes or 30 minutes, never a complete 60. And that's a really disappointing reality for Green Bay as they fall to Chicago. Josh DiMaggio is here. He dubbed it the season from hell. He got the playoff game from hell. How you doing 2 days removed, Joshy?
I mean, I've been fine. I spent most of yesterday doom scrolling and just looking at all the magnificent ways in which Matt LaFleur disappointed yet again, under-delivered, and made it one of the more embarrassing games in recent Packers memory. To take that sort of lead and to turn it into the game that it became is inexcusable. I think should have more ramifications than it looks like it is at this point. I don't necessarily think the Matt LaFleur extension is as done as it is, but as we've seen before, Kevin Stefanski got an extension last year and now he's fired this year. So that doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I don't see how there isn't wholesale change amongst the coaching staff in time for next season to start. I think the Packers need to take a serious look at actually investing in offensive coordinator, actually investing in some of the position coaches that they have. Both the O-line and the linebackers Probably need a hefty upgrade and somebody that actually carries some moxie. We saw him do it with DeMarcus Covington, who was a guy that came in with some sort of stance. It's disappointing because Jordan Love was clearly the best quarterback in the game. He played to a degree at which we've rarely seen, even with Aaron Rodgers as good as he is. To choke away, to fumble away, to have the game go that degree is one of the more unforgivable things. I don't understand how Matt LaFleur is going to face the team and the fan base and everyone, and how if the result isn't extreme achievement, even next season, that this loss is not going to be washed away.
Yep.
You could have washed away what happened last season. You could wash away what happened in previous NFC Championship games that Matt LaFleur has appeared in. Mm-hmm. This one is never going to leave him unless he wins a Super Bowl. And the fact that we're here and there's cute language going on with him sort of tells me all we need to know. It was reported he wasn't coaching for his job, but he did so poorly he managed to find a way to do that, which is a difficult thing to do. To get the endorsement and then the game happens and everyone goes, well,
I don't know if we want to stick with that endorsement, right? Because it was that embarrassing of a meltdown. It was that embarrassing of a loss for Green Bay. And I'm glad you bring up that report because obviously we will have the Matt LaFleur conversation on how we see this playing out. But for that to come out before the game, you mentioned it. I believe it was Ian Rappaport on the report for the NFL Network. It said multiple times in his report, his future in Green Bay will not be just dictated by the 4 quarters played on Saturday. And then we all watched it happen again. A dominating lead, a dominating start, and then you piss down your leg. And it's not the first time that's happened under Matt LaFleur's direction. It's not the first time it had happened in that stadium in the last month. And that's
third time it's happened this season.
Yeah, when they're leading at the 2-minute warning, I believe was the stat.
It was like within 5 minutes or something.
Up by 10 and with 5 minutes,
yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think they finished 6-3 this season in those games. And it's Chicago twice and Cleveland. Those are your losses. It's super disappointing. Super disappointing. Because the Packers, again, in Chicago had that game won, but they didn't win the game. And that's why the conversations of, okay, what are the problems? What went wrong? Well, the kicker costed you 7 points legitimately, but probably closer to 11, right? The Bears don't go for 2 if you make the extra point. Then you're kicking for a field goal at the end of the game rather than going for a touchdown when you're down 4. So there's 4 more points that Brandon McManus costed you on top of the 7 he missed, 2 field goals and an extra point. The defense couldn't stop anything, specifically Colston Loveland in the second half. Colston Loveland was brilliant for the Bears. And we all know I'm a huge Colston Loveland fan. So there's that. Offensively, you could not do anything. The first 4 drives out of halftime. Punt, 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 punt.
Look at the time of possession of each of those 2.
Nothing. Seconds.
Embarrassingly bad.
And 16 total yards in those 4 possessions.
Yes. And I don't believe they had a rush that went for over a yard in that second half.
Adds up. So, frankly, it's as simple as this for me, man. If you want to make a change at head coach, I'm not going to argue you. I don't see it happening. I don't believe it will happen. But if you want to make the case for it, I'm more open to it than I ever have been. I stand by everything I've said about Matt LaFleur. I think he would instantly become the hottest coach on the market. I think he would immediately get another job as a head coach in the NFL. And I don't know if the Packers are making the right decision or being too reactionary. Like, if you want to change the head coach, fine. I would not have an issue with that. I'm not going to sit here and make you list the names of guys that you would rather have. But there's some pretty good coaches on the market that could bring some fresh perspective and fresh ideas. If the Adam Schefter report from this morning comes to fruition, which is the Packers and Matt LaFleur are working on an extension, a lot of changes still need to happen. Rich Bisaccia needs to be gone. I would vote Adam Stenavich either A, gone, or B, moves back to offensive line coach. You need a new offensive coordinator. You need fresh ideas in the room with Matt LaFleur. And ideally, you need somebody that can handle in-game adjustments. Because LaFleur has struggled with that his entire tenure as the Packers head coach.
I mean, in his presser yesterday, he said they changed their approach in the second half. They were crashing the edges, which led to additional pressure. And it seems like he knows that now, but he wasn't able to diagnose that in real time or figure out a solution for it because the Bears came out with a different plan in the second half, and the Packers had absolutely zero answer for that adjustment, which is something we see often, and I often think the halftime adjustment stuff is largely overblown. But there are times where, especially in the playoffs, where teams are fighting for their lives and go, we have to change something here. So we have to maybe do something we didn't practice all week.
Yeah.
So let's go out and do something.
But again, credit where credit is due, man. Ben Johnson does that. Ben Johnson successfully did that twice against the Packers in the last month. December 20th, obviously, and there was a little bit more luck involved. This was just a full-blown meltdown where the Bears executed and the Packers didn't in the second half. They didn't need a fluky onside kick recovery and then some great throws by Caleb Williams. Like, they needed great throws by Caleb Williams, but they didn't need what happened on December 20th.
The drop snap from Malik Willis wasn't there. There was no turnovers, really.
Aside from that, was it 4th and 8 throw from Caleb? It wasn't like he was pulling the incredible every other play. Right. It was just guys that were wide open, running down the field.
Loveland specifically. They could not figure out how to match up with him. They tried to put Quay Walker on him. They tried to put Tafer McKinney on him.
Yeah.
Great
draft pick.
Just didn't really work. That's what some said when he was drafted. Well, it was a great draft, but some people did say that. 8 catches, 137 yards.
Yeah, the problem with, like, in breaking down what actually happened in the game, I don't know if it's even of much interest anymore, like diagnosing what happened, because what you saw happen is what we've seen happen before and what needs to stop happening. And that gets you into the Matt LaFleur conversation. How do things change? How do things improve? Will can take his victory lap on what it is, but it was clearly evident there was one team that was better. And then there was one team that, once again, lacked a killer instinct, which you could point to the head coach, and with the inability to put a team away. Defense was an absolute crumbling. You had Keyshawn Nixon making a business decision at the goal line. You had Rashawn Gary once again jogging when Caleb Williams was near the sideline. So there's a cultural issue and a killer instinct issue. There is some problem here. If Matt LaFleur is retained, how can he fix it? And I am of the belief that he's not going to fix it. I believe that everything we ever need to know about Matt LaFleur is when his best friend said, we knew if we took these guys out into the ocean that they were going to falter, that they were going to drown, which is his way of saying these guys aren't tough. Mm-hmm. They don't have the mentality. They don't have a killer instinct. And he said that about Matt LaFleur 2 years ago, maybe even more now that I think about it. And what we saw then is the way that the Lions had so much success handling the Packers in previous times. What we saw twice this year with the Chicago Bears is they don't. And Matt LaFleur seems to falter. He looks lost on the sideline. He's sitting on the bench, referring to his little tablet and searching for answers. And for whatever reason it is, that mentality permeates the entirety of the team.
Yeah, in a game where, again, you'd really have no excuse to lose that game.
No, you were up 21-3. You had a 10-point lead with less than 5 minutes to go.
And you got the ball at half after the 21-3.
You score one of those touchdowns in one of those punt scenarios, the game's at arm's reach, and then you're in we make a field goal, we probably get out of here. We can get to McManus, whatever. I'm not interested in it. Get rid of the guy. He's a bum. He has enough around him that he doesn't deserve second chances. Yeah,
we'll get the stock up, stock down later, and I want to do it a little bit differently today. I want to strictly just say who the Packers should get rid of, stock down. That's what we're going to do in stock up, stock down.
We're selling stocks.
We're going to do the fire. We're going to be the firing squad.
It's selling low.
Yes, selling low indeed.
We're hitting the trading floor.
Exactly. You got it, Will. Something I'm sure you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
I wish, speaking of stocks and all that, I wish I would have stayed with my shorting Matt LaFleur from, I don't know, most of the season until I relented.
You did relent.
It was only for like 3 weeks. He had 3 good weeks too.
Yeah, because the problems I had were the problems I saw in the biggest moments. And you grade on a curve based on what took place at the end of the season. Obviously, Week 18 they didn't even try, so that's not worth considering. But he is get the Packers to a Super Bowl for me next year, or it's a failure. That's the terms that have now been dictated to him.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And,
you're not even good with an NFC Championship appearance?
No.
Nope.
Got to get to the Super Bowl.
No, because after, and Homer has said this before, you can be a lot of things, but you can't be embarrassing. And what he did was be embarrassing.
Again.
Yes.
Right. If this is the first time, we're having a very different conversation. Mm-hmm. So your ed policy, what are you doing?
If I'm at policy,
Yep.
He was fired this morning when they met. See ya. Sorry. I think you're a good head coach. I don't think you have what it takes to take the Green Bay Packers to a Super Bowl. I think 7 years is ample amount of time to win a Super Bowl. Only one coach has ever won a Super Bowl after being with the team for 7 seasons. That's Bill Cowher. And you could say, oh, well, coaches don't get chances. Yeah, because you usually show signs. Mm-hmm. There's usually an indication that, we're right there.
We're on an upward trajectory, and it just felt that, again, this year. I mean, the Packers finished the season 9-8-1. It's not a good record.
Right. And that's why everyone being like, the candidates, who are they? What? You can find anybody to win 9 games.
Yeah.
Like, the roster's there.
And the Packers have always been successful in coaching searches. They have. Yes. Matt LaFleur was a success, even if this is it for him.
Right.
He was a success.
I guess to Joshy's point, 9 wins feels like it would have been the floor coming into this year. Like
what was their over-under before the season? Was it 9.5?
It had to have been more than that.
I think it climbed up after Micah. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I think, and then there at times this year, I believe it got bumped way up when they showed good signs.
Yeah.
I believe towards the end of the year, I remember looking at it, and it was at 11.5 at one point.
Bill chimes in. Kevin O'Connell, Dan Campbell, and Ben Johnson all win that game if they're GB's coach on Saturday.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think most of the coaches who are in the playoffs win that, and a large handful of other ones also do.
Mad City Brew chimes in. This is a great show, but please mute Will today.
It's fair. He can lash out. I won't get mad at him for that.
You're not going to hold that against him?
For that? No.
Okay. You've been pretty subdued so far.
Yeah.
So that's good. Go ahead, Hunter.
Just got to fact check something you said, Strouf. The Packers have always been successful at head coaching searches. They did hire Ray Rhodes as a head coach.
But they admitted the mistake very quickly.
That also wasn't really a search. That was internal.
I
know. I was.
And they admitted the mistake after 1 year.
It was the only defensive hire that they've made, going back as far as I can remember.
Ever.
As a Bears fan, you're good on the coaching searches. I think you've done okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Matt LaFleur was the last hire, and not a name any of us were thinking about at the point he was hired.
McCarthy was the same thing.
Yeah,
and obviously he won a Super Bowl and had a really successful tenure in Green Bay. So
the people saying who you're going to hire, just because you don't recognize the name doesn't mean there's not talented head
Nobody
coaches.
Nobody knew who Mike Holmgren was. Right. There's been some really successful.
I think
ones.
Holmgren had a little bit more.
He had a little bit of buzz.
Yeah. And I mean the Packers made that one mistake.
Hold on, real quick. Time out. Will Cache spell it?
Cache.
Nice. Nicely done.
Let's go.
I wouldn't even able
but
to do
yeah,
that.
those weren't
Will.
stunning hires at the time they were made.
Hold on.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
What word did I use earlier that you told me to say for today?
It was it wasn't serendipitous, but it was something that sounds like that. You know what
I'll have to think of it.
It was something that sounds like that.
You guys are idiots.
Did I say nefarious?
No, you've used that one before.
Okay.
Could I tell you what it means? No,
Yeah.
but you've used it before, and I've said what it means before.
Hand up.
Hand up. I screwed up. I forgot it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. See your comments coming in. ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison's on YouTube. Dr. Denver Dan says, Strouf's got the glasses on, and now he's spell checking people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm reading books now, people.
Yeah.
Reading books now.
Oh, jeez.
Any
New
reading
year,
this
new you.
weekend?
I read on Friday. Not Saturday or Sunday, though.
I tried to read yesterday, and I kept getting distracted because my phone kept buzzing. Because I was like, you know what? I just need to not doom scroll. Well, guess what I did? Doom scroll.
Doom scroll.
Yeah.
I have like the app limits on all my social media apps, and it was ignored for the day, all day on those.
A friend of ours, me and Will, had a few beers yesterday. I made Will dinner last night because I'm a good person.
Did you have a couple few?
I had a couple few.
I had a couple few. And our friend who we were with realized I was doom scrolling at one point, and he goes, "Give me your phone." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Get off of Twitter. Everybody's just going to be telling you suck. Give me your phone. If your girlfriend texts you, or if you get a text that seems important, I will let you know." And at one point he goes, "Hey, just so you know, the Mr. Irrelevant group chat, which is the four of us, has 89 unread messages."
To be fair, me and Josh were just talking back and forth.
Yeah.
It definitely could have been a private text.
He goes, "That seems important." I go, "I promise it's not.
Yeah.
I promise it's not." He goes, "Well, I'm not on the show. I don't know."
Me and Josh were basically just sending tweets back and forth about the game and then talking about it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Brian Gutekunst. I noticed he is not a part of the conversation today.
Yeah. I think there's time to get to him. I think what we saw Saturday does not point towards failure of Brian Gutekunst. I've heard Jason was floating this out, and that seemed to be his axe. I don't know if I want to say axe grind. That seemed to be his point he was trying to make. Yeah. And I certainly think Brian Gutekunst is far from perfect. I think there's some of his draft picks you can point to as failure. Some of them you can point to as resounding success. I also think people try to eliminate trading for Micah Parsons, signing Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs from what it takes to be a team builder, because we're so trained into you draft good in Green Bay, you win games in Green Bay. That's sort of the deal. We also, for some reason, despite having by the advanced metrics, a top 3 quarterback in all the NFL this season. Brian Gutekunst seemingly doesn't get a ton of credit for that, despite drafting him ahead of time and transitioning the Packers from a rebuild into what they are now. I also
a bona fide contender.
I also think Green Bay has a top 3 to 5 roster in the NFL when healthy. And when you start to lose the amount of players you did, no matter if you have depth or not, it's going to not matter that much. Nick Niemann played one single snap because on goal line, they have 4 linebackers on the field, and they were down to 3 guys we've heard of and Nick Niemann. So the reason that happened is simply because there was not enough bodies, and nobody on the defensive side said, hey, maybe we should just play Evan Williams or Xavier McKinney here. They probably know what their assignment would be. I think you can point to some draft picks being failures, but you also have to point to Tucker Kraft looking like one of the best tight ends in all of the NFL, Adrian Cooper being on the ascent, Christian Watson being on the ascent, Matthew Golden showed up. I also think Anthony Belton pushed into a spot he wasn't familiar with and played more than fine at guard. And I also think Jordan Morgan is better than people think. I think they're a little take-locked into what they saw him do at guard.
Hold on. So David chimes in with this, and I was going to ask you this as well. The offensive line not on Goody was the question. And of course it is.
Yeah,
but it's not like he didn't invest in the offensive line.
Right. I think the Elton Jenkins experiment at center was a failure. I think Sean Ryan at center was actually a revelation.
Yep.
I think Jordan Morgan at guard was a failure. I think Jordan Morgan at tackle is the future. And if you look at it, he actually grades out better than Rasheed Walker, who people seemingly think is a lot better than he actually is.
Yep.
Zach Tom is one of the best tackles in all the NFL. He has battled multiple surgeries, also now dealing with
injuries, but going to deal with a surgery, yes.
Yes. So, yeah, they weren't as good as we had hoped. And you would like more depth there. Jacob Monk was a miss. Yes, I agree there. But I do think the guys they had, I think that's a coaching problem more than a talent problem.
That's fair.
I think they have, because Luke Butkus was a internal promotion, which the Green Bay Packers love to do because it saves them money and saves them effort. But I think they're good enough, but I do think they have a lot of room for growth, and they certainly could have been better talent-wise. But I also think you have to make decisions when you're trading picks. I mean, he's invested premium picks into 2 guys. Those 2 guys are going to be on the offensive line next season. They're going to be starters. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to figure out, is Banks good enough? I don't know. That could have been a mistake. And what do you do in that center, really? That's the big questions that I have remaining there. But I do think you have room to critique Brian Gutekunst in the young man's game. Yes, I agree. NFL and football is a young man's game, but we don't have to be the youngest team every year. We can be in the bottom third, still be extremely young, and have a lot of ascendant talent and guys that are growing and learning on the job and improving. But I do think there is space for more veteran leadership. I also think you have to get to know your team. Jordan Love isn't the vocal leader that maybe you want him to be. I think he's a damn good quarterback, and he's one of the quarterbacks out of all the quarterbacks I would want first.
Yep.
Aside from the very obvious ones that we all know.
Right. The Mahomes, the Allen,
right.
Jacksons. Right.
But after that tier, I think, yeah, you probably need guys that are going to step up, be vocal leaders, and run the team. Rashawn Gary, I have not thought he was as good as he was for now 4 years.
Yeah, we'll get to him in stuff.
And he's seemingly quiet quit on his team.
Yeah.
One of the other more vocal guys you have seemingly gets a 15-yard penalty every time he plays an NFL game. Keyshawn Nixon.
Yeah.
I don't know how many penalties he has, but
what was that on Saturday? He just jumped into the pile,
and he didn't even really cause any. It didn't really cause any effect. There wasn't.
That was
really
the play
much.
Cooper got hurt too, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he was in the back of that and hurt his leg.
Josh, I noticed you didn't mention Darian Kennard when you were talking about the O-line. Is that because he will be with the tight ends next year? Okay, just want to confirm.
He will be. Which also, if we want to be honest,
it was the longest fumble of all time.
If we want to be honest, Darian Kennard being useful at all, that was an in-season acquisition.
Well, it was right before.
Yeah. Well, right. Goody recognized he probably got a depth issue here. And then they went out and got a guy who I thought, when asked to play, played well.
Yeah. Got a pretty good gain there on first down.
Nice.
What was it, 6 yards?
It was a 2nd and 3, but the ball traveled 40 yards.
Yeah, that play was so cool. I mean, I know it didn't really count for anything, but it was cool. I enjoyed it.
He was fumbling for so long before the ball actually came out, too.
Yeah.
So you have no reservations on Brian Gutekunst. That was a really long way of saying that.
I wouldn't say no reservations. I do think conversations need to be had, and there needs to be and maybe whoever replaces John Eric Sullivan is a voice that can be. But to put it plain and simple, heading into the 2025 season, yes or no, the Packers were one of the 3 to 5 best rosters in all the NFL. Also, during the course of the season, were they not one of the 3 favorites to win the Super Bowl?
They were.
So what the hell do you want? What else do you really want from him?
I'm just asking the question.
No, I'm asking in general, because you're not the only one to bring it up, and I've heard other people bring it up. I've seen Goody fired on the talk and text line and in the YouTube chat.
Of course.
Hundreds of times, which I understand we're all lashing out. But yeah, you point to cornerbacks. Here's an example. Did the cornerbacks matter when Micah Parsons was on the field? Mm-hmm. Not that much. How many cornerbacks in the NFL truly matter? 4, 5. Game changers.
Yeah, that's probably about it.
Yeah. And otherwise, it's guys that are they're pretty good. Yeah. Also, look at the All-Pro list of guys who got who were named All-Pros at the cornerback position. Then Google their front sevens. Patrick Surtain, Denver Broncos, one of the better front sevens in all the NFL.
No doubt.
Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, one of the better front sevens
in the league.
in all the NFL. Derek Stingley, maybe the best front seven in all the NFL.
In Houston, yeah.
Do you think those two things might correlate?
I would guess they do, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Stingley and Surtain, you could say those guys are talented.
They're very good, yes.
Right, regardless. But are they helped by the guys in front of them? Most certainly.
And I would put
Christian Gonzalez.
I was just going to say, I'd put him in the same camp, right?
Yeah.
And that's who the Packers should have drafted over Lucas Van Ness, but that's neither here nor there. So it is what it is. I mean, I think Goody has done a fine job. I think he's justified for an extension. And I think they're going to run it back in terms of those two key pieces in general manager and head coach in 2026. I think LaFleur and Gutekunst will both be back on extended deals, and we'll see how it plays out. Because to your point, I do believe that he has made the appropriate moves to get this team to championship potential. Right? You mentioned the Super Bowl odds. They have a Micah Parsons. They have a Tucker Kraft. They have a Jordan Love. that's some really good core pieces heading into 2026. Now,
those are superstars.
Now they need to stay healthy. And it's obviously easier said than done. But Micah Parsons says he's aiming for a week 1 comeback.
Yeah,
but then
also said
realistically week 3.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft could be ready by week 1 though.
Yeah. If you were to pick 2 guys who are going to heal fast and be back, it's those 2. Probably 1 and 2.
Just genetic freaks.
Yeah. I mean, just clearly gifted, more gifted than the super athletes on the field next to them.
Yeah. Yep. Comments continue to roll in. I'm keeping an eye on them. We'll get to some of your comments at some point. On the text line, 800-990-3776, Chef Ed chimes in. Stroufy, tell that young punk to take that smirk off his face. What's going on back there?
I don't know. I'm just, having a good day.
Hunter, do you see a smirk?
Absolutely. He deserves it. I'm happy for you, Will.
Thanks, Hunter.
I'm not.
Yeah, that sucks. Before we move on from the Goody conversation, when it comes to this roster now going forward, because Micah and Jordan Love are going to be eating up so much more of the cap each year, do you guys trust him to be able to figure that out? Because that is a big part of this here too for this team. Is it's not like you just have a bunch of young guys that aren't going to cost a lot. They'll have a bunch of cap room to figure things out.
You've got some decisions to make this offseason, but it's really next offseason where some of the big decisions come into play, specifically at wide receiver.
They're going to be a little cash strapped. I also think you can start, as the Eagles have done in spades, start borrowing from the future a little bit with the way your contracts are aligned. The Packers are, in terms of in over their heads, they're relatively cap healthy. They don't have a lot of cap space, but there's not a lot of albatrosses hanging around their neck that are going to be big issues in the future. When it comes to 2 guys you're paying amongst the highest in all the league, I think doing it at edge and quarterback is probably the most justified.
Yep.
But yeah, they've got it. I know Russ Ball's name, not because he's out in front of the media and talking all the time, but because he is the one working all the contracts and he is referenced a lot as a guy who makes all these things work. Because they oftentimes end up with contracts that benefit the Packers and make it so the Packers can do what they want to in terms of, free agency, signing players, extending players, all of that.
Yeah. You're right about that. All right, we're gonna get to stock up, stock down. Will's week in review, what we missed, all still ahead here on Mr. Irrelevant. I'm Alex Strouf. He's Josh DiMaggio. He's Will Sommers. Hunter Vaughn running the show. As always, we do the show 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It starts at 12:30 Central on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison. And if you ever miss the live stream, it's available wherever you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the ESPN Wisconsin app, which is all free, all customizable. You can move our show right to the top. 3-hour-long episodes a week, and appreciate you all hanging with us as we continue to hash through the Packers meltdown in Chicago Saturday night, which ended their season. So with the season in the bag, with the season in the books, it is time to look at our season-long stock up, stock down. Whose stocks are going up? Whose stocks, primarily is what we're going to look at here, are going down. And I want to start with strictly stock downs to players or coaches or individuals you do not want to see in Green Bay.
Matt LaFleur.
Josh.
Stock down.
We will take turns. We'll take turns. We'll get to that in a moment.
I just wanted to get that out there.
I know. You got to get it off your chest. You can cope however you want to cope. All right, we start with my first stock down. My answer is Rich Bisaccia. It's something I've said for, it feels like years now, but it's been completely inconsistent. The special teams have not gotten better. Whatever he does as an assistant coach has clearly been detrimental to this team's success. I believe Rich Bisaccia should be out of Green Bay. It was good to hear Matt LaFleur be non-committal rather than too loyal, which has been a fault of his in the past. When asked about him at his press conference yesterday, Rich Bisaccia doesn't know what to do with kick returner, doesn't know what to do with punt returner, advocated for keeping Brandon McManus when it seemed like the substitute teacher, Lucas Havrasek, may have been a better option. And Brandon McManus has a pure meltdown with the Packers in Chicago on Saturday. So I think all of that is justification for moving on and going a different direction yet again at special teams coordinator. Rich Bisaccia, my first stock down. Josh's turn.
I'm just going to jump out there and get right to it. Was I assigned any? Should I be looking at it or more?
No, I didn't make a list.
Okay.
This is just gut check.
I just wanted to make sure
pure gut check.
I wasn't following the rules or not. It's Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
I always struggle to question the effort of NFL players. I think that's oftentimes foolish. A lot of times it points to what you think might be effort is oftentimes an injury. And I would bet, with the way the noise has got, we're going to hear something about Rashawn Gary. But I don't think effort means you need to jog when you're chasing down the quarterback. And that happened so consistently. He didn't have a tackle for loss or sack for, 10 weeks? That is
10 weeks.
For the amount of time he plays, for the amount of money he earns, that is almost difficult to do. It seems like there's something more to the Rashawn Gary thing than we know. I don't know if it's Micah Parsons came in and he felt slighted because he thought he was the guy, despite never proving he was the guy, never having a double-digit sack season. This team had a massive hole form when Micah Parsons went down. There was one guy that would have made sense to step up, and he did not do it. He costs too much money. He doesn't produce enough. Stock down Rashawn Gary.
I have a stat for you to go along with that TFL. There were 507 players with a tackle for loss since week 9 and 325 with at least half a sack. Rashawn Gary, making $24 million a year, had neither.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Since week 9.
I don't know how you possibly
I don't know what his
bring him
next
back.
contract looks like. It has to be incentive laden. So
Yeah, it would have to be.
No one's gonna watch his film and be like, we should pay this guy.
What do you mean he did the crossover between the legs, spin move before he...
It's been all downhill since then, hasn't it?
Yeah.
When he did that, I remember thinking, you might be the last guy that should be doing that.
Yeah.
Because when Myles Garrett does it, it's because it's scary. And they're like, oh no, what's going on here?
Correct.
Micah Parsons does it, they're doing the same thing.
Max Crosby.
Right. The center's looking at Rashawn Gary going, I'm just going to give you a punch, you're going to get pushed back, and then my quarterback's going to get the ball off.
Yeah. I'm with you. All right, let's go to the next one.
Stock down.
Rasheed Walker. I know his contract's up. They're not going to bring him back. It's going to be Jordan Morgan's spot at left tackle. Why did it feel like he had multiple penalties every game for the last month? Oh, it's because he did. That's why it felt that way, probably. Rasheed Walker's stock started falling when he opened his mouth after week 1 and said the team's going to go undefeated. They finished the year 9-8-1, so barely 500, over 500. But penalties, he's not the left tackle of the future. He might get paid somewhere to be a starting left tackle. I think it's unlikely. So it's not a big loss. But between the 18-0 quote, or the 17-0 quote, and the 800 penalties in the final month of the season, Rasheed Walker, stock down.
It seems like all of them came in very big situations on Saturday, too. I think he had 2 when it mattered.
Stock down.
My next one is going to be Brandon McManus. I know he just got an extension, but the stats around him, his playoff performance, and the way he finished off the season, even after he returned from the quadriceps injury, embarrassing.
Yep.
He doesn't have a big leg. He's not particularly good at kickoffs, and then he's missing extra points and field goals. You can't continue that way. It made me wish back to the days of Anders Carlson, where I knew when he went out there he wasn't going to make it, so who cares?
Yep.
He is a large part of why the Green Bay Packers are where they are. He struggled mightily. I don't like his personality. I don't find him to be somebody that the Packers should...
I don't like his personality.
Yeah, I've listened to him talk.
It's one thing if you're bad at football, but the personality...
Josh just brought that to another level, yeah.
That's also loaded
Deep-rooted.
with some of his history.
Past allegations, yes.
Yeah. Ask the people in Jacksonville what they think about what actually happened there. Other than that, yeah, I've... You make kicks, bro. I don't respect specialists except for the one that joins us on Fridays. Everyone else... figure it out.
Brad Norton will be back with us on Friday, the former punter. Oh, by the way, so the first 3 playoff games were Panthers played, who he played for, obviously. The Packers, who he roots for, and then the Jaguars. Yeah. All 3 of them lost.
Yeah.
Brad Nortman.
Stock down.
Brutal weekend for his fandom.
Nortman curse.
It's the Nortman curse, without a doubt. All right, stock down for me. This is going to be my final one, and it's going to be a dual threat. Adam Stenavich and Luke Butkus.
Yeah.
The offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach. Bye-bye. I don't really have anything else to say. That's it.
Stock down.
On Stenavich, I would say shut the hell up. Stop making Matt LaFleur clean up all your messes. Hey, remember when you said we're not going to be using Matthew Golden? Well, maybe you were wrong about that. Did you see what happens when you give him opportunity? He makes plays. Mm-hmm. And I know we can point to Matt LaFleur. He's the one who makes all the final decisions. But to think Adam Stenavich hasn't had any influence on that would be foolish. The way he handled the Matthew Golden stuff, it took Bull Melton going on the damn IR for that kid to get opportunity and Dontavian Wicks being injured. When you watched, and I'll ask a Bears fan and a Cowboys fan here, that guy looked like a guy who's pretty good and probably should have been targeted more throughout the year. Did he not?
I think we counted on stream. He broke 6 tackles on that touchdown.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And he had that huge catch on the sideline.
Right, and he's not DK Metcalf.
He had 2 massive catches on the sideline that were toe tap, great grabs to not only stop the clock, but to move the ball forward. I think I kept saying it to you guys, like he had the illegal formation penalty. It's like, well, to be fair, he was told he wasn't going to be playing.
That's true. That's true.
I had a moment while I was watching it and when he started to have those catches where I was like, trying to think back, did he get hurt in a practice? Like, why was he not on the field? Like, I just couldn't remember if, like, I was forgetting something big happening. It was the weirdest thing.
He did deal with an injury in the middle part of the season.
But still.
Early in the season and late in the season, his lack of usage is as puzzling to everyone in the room as it is to, I'm sure, Matthew Golden. I do think there was probably some stuff there with the rookie not handling being 5th, 6th on the totem pole in terms of wide receiver, which is something you could grow through. But to me, the talent stuck out, and to me, Adam Stenavich has a little bit to deal with that.
Yep.
And I think there was also at times throughout the course of the year where the offense looked rather uncreative. I also think it had very high highs, largely led by Jordan Love and his abilities. But to not say there needs to be a difference made there, to me, is I think would be foolish.
All right. Will said he had one. I don't know if this is a joke. I don't know if this is serious. But we're going to give him the floor. Go ahead.
Stock down Carrington Valentine. Seemingly has...
Carrington Valentine's tackling ability.
No, he's done everything he could possibly do this year to avoid having an interception. And then when Caleb Williams... from, I believe, the Bears were at like the Packers' 45-yard line, throws one down to the 10, and Carrington Valentine finally decides to have an interception and just puts the Packers inside the 10, and then ultimately gets burned on that DJ Moore fake screen to end the game. It was a bad game for Carrington Valentine.
I've got a couple stock ups that we'll just rapid fire through. Go ahead, Will.
Stock up.
All right. Let's start with what?
I'm interested to see how you're going to phrase this.
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
He proved the consistency this year. That was a big piece of this season that I think Packers fans wanted to see, and I think you saw it. I thought he was excellent this season.
I think throughout the course of the year, we had a lot of people questioning Jordan Love's play and abilities, and I think for what we saw to end the season before he got injured and everything, I'd be hard-pressed to think people who aren't Bears fans and trolling us that legitimately think he's not a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I think the evidence is so abundant.
You don't know ball.
It's so clear.
Yeah, he's
watching
awesome.
him play.
He was excellent for most of the game on Saturday, and he was excellent for most of the season.
I think he was excellent for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, he just didn't get the opportunity for 4 drives. You know? So I guess that's why.
Sneaky that throw to Dobbs on, I think it was like the second down.
I would say the one disappointment was the delay of game after the timeout that led to a missed
he certainly
field goal.
has a piece of that. It also seems it's a process issue for the Packers when it comes to calling the play and getting the play to everybody and then checking out of it if they don't get the look they want.
Another stock up would be Christian Watson.
Yes.
He's seemingly going to be their number 1 receiver entering 2026, and he's got another year on his deal, so that's exciting. They'll obviously have a decision to make in terms of a long-term extension with him at some point, either this offseason or next season. But all good news there on the Christian Watson front. Defensively, I think there's a couple different ways you could go. I'm actually, after Saturday's game, going to say stock up to Quay Walker. I'm curious how they handle that this offseason. He is a true free agent, unrestricted. Are they able to bring him back? That is a big-time question they'll have to answer this offseason, but I was impressed with him. And those are kind of the really big ones. Obviously, the Micah Parsons, he's lived up to the hype. You could give a stock up there. Jeff Hafley, for most of the season, was excellent at defensive coordinator. He deserves a stock up. It sounds like Micah Parsons is talking about him like he'll be back next year, which would be excellent, but we will see on that. And then one final one. Stock up to Will trolling me. So many people in this chat have brought up the fact that I laughed at the Bears drafting Colston Loveland. That video has been viewed 1.7 million times on Twitter. It has over 1,000 responses, and I have DMs, and I have mentions.
You gotta close your DMs.
No, I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
No one's making you read those.
Yeah.
So there's actually people defending me in the YouTube chat right now, talking to the Bears fans that have invaded us, saying he was not laughing at Colston Loveland being a bad pick. He was laughing at Will predicting the wrong pick.
If you go back and listen to when I think I did like the rapid fire draft analysis, I think I said Colston Loveland might be the first tight end drafted.
I just want to acknowledge, I don't think I ever brought it up on this program, but on KBN, I was in the KBN league. I drafted Colston Loveland in like every fantasy league I'm in.
No one cares about your fantasy team.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here goes Hunter. I'm just saying, I've been a Colston Loveland believer. And so Will, I don't know if it was you that cut that video or not of me
definitely
laughing.
Wasn't me, no.
But ultimately you pulled one over on me. And rather than you looking bad to your own fan base, you made me the Colston Loveland guy.
Switcheroo.
Yeah,
you made me the Colston Loveland guy. So props to you.
Yeah.
You've made me the target rather than yourself. So well done.
I think we can blame this on my forgetfulness, just like forgetting that Colston Loveland was there, because obviously, like, he was my top guy coming out of college in the tight end position, which the Bears needed because Ben Johnson loves to run the 12-man personnel. So, it's on me for just forgetting that he was there.
That's hand up, stand up guy.
One thing about me is I will always point the thumb instead of the finger. That is
Keep
one
up the
thing you
good
can
work,
guarantee about
Will.
me. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Will.
There it is. Yeah, very good.
Thanks, Adam.
Well, let's see. We'll see if Will can keep up the good work. I have no idea where this is headed. This will likely be the best one we ever get, and it will be the last one we do this year. Maybe.
This year?
Yeah, what are you talking
For
about?
this football season.
Oh, yeah, football season.
The season.
Potentially.
I was going to say we got
We got
Brewers.
Masters. We got.
Yeah, we'll hit some others at some point, but we're probably going to give this a rest for a few weeks.
And also in 8 months, the NFL starts again.
Well, then we'll bring it back every week. But
You know what?
I
No,
would
he
say
just killed the segment.
Yeah.
Just killed it.
I would say we're going to give it a little bit of room to breathe. So bring it today. It is time now for Will. He typically does a Chris Berman impression. I'm not sure if that's the case today, but it is time now for Will Sommers Weekend in Review.
I decided to switch it up this week. I'm pretty sure everyone that's in our chat right now watched the game, so they don't need the real play-by-play recap. So Hunter, let's do the Alex Strouf recap since we all did a watch-along together. Let's get Alex Strouf's thoughts from during the Packers-Bears game.
Boy.
We're going to have paper bags on heads in the second half, I think.
Will,
I look forward to replying to this DM. I'd just like to show you some of the DMs I've been getting this week. I almost feel bad. Caleb looks thrilled. Got it. Got it. You bum. It's good. Got it. Uh-oh.
He's fine.
Uh-oh.
He's fine.
Page it me. So you have to skew it. Oh, we did the NFL honors on Thursday now? Those are always on Saturdays?
Is that?
Yeah. Shucks. Not our Heisman winners. It was getting a little dicey there for a moment. Sure was. Getting a little dicey. I'm fanning for the team that's up 11 in the playoffs.
I'm trying to help you. I can't believe people didn't like that draft pick.
Man, who would
I can't believe people wanted Tyler Warren over him. Couldn't be me.
I'm out there running like a cheat code. I really do not like kickers. Agreed. Hate them.
You haven't had the opportunity.
I could have mocked you. I never did.
You're right. That's low on me. I apologize.
I thought you guys were classy.
With your Will's Weekend Review, I'm Will Sommers. And thank you to Josh for not saying anything mean. Otherwise,
Nice
it definitely
guy.
would have made the cut.
Nice guy.
Hey,
Yeah.
bravo. Nicely done.
The best part was you. I didn't know the NFL awards were going to be on Sunday this year. Usually
they're on Thursday.
Oh, sorry. It's the other way around.
They're on Thursday.
Sorry,
They're usually on
sorry.
Saturday.
We're out there in the middle fighting for our lives, and this guy's, they've moved a typical Sunday to a Thursday.
Well, if you have a backbone, you will put that on the internet.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I just wanted to wait for when you're looking at your Twitter again so that you can retweet it.
I can't believe
I think I'm done with Twitter for
I
a
can't
while.
believe how much I came out smelling like roses in that one.
Well, I mean, I was going to put you in there, but
Yeah, the only thing you said in there was shucks. when Caleb threw a pick.
Yeah.
Not our Heisman winner.
He started something that sounded like Beijing, and I don't know what he said after that.
That was the
so
chat.
I just, yeah.
That was the chat. That was the Josh.
I was just reading off the chat. I was servicing the people.
There's one where he picked up the mic and said something very loud into it, but for some reason the stream lost it.
You've gotten Mad City Brew to come around to you. Mad City Brew says, okay, well done, Will.
Mad City Brew, I recognize that you do not want to hear me talk at all today, and that's completely fair.
You're going to the game on either Saturday or Sunday?
Boots on the ground. It has the potential to be the coldest playoff game of all time at Soldier Field. I'm pumped.
There's somebody in the Milwaukee chat looking for their payback for in 2010 when the Packers beat the Bears and Cutler not finishing the game and the backup excuses.
Sorry about Caleb Haney, man.
Everybody's having a very normal time. I got to say, and I know you guys Bears fans have taken a lot of punishment. I own you, all of that.
Yep.
You guys do not know how to interact.
No.
It is as if the Bears have exclusive rights to unsocialized absolute jerks. People who hide behind anonymous accounts to tell you all the I got called an incel.
Oh, yeah. So there's actually this thing going around Bears Twitter, and Will, I'm curious if you saw any of this. People keep calling me fat. I weigh 170 pounds.
I actually did see someone say that. I said, huh.
I've been getting a lot of "you're fat." And I'm like,
Do you got a fat face? Is that?
Maybe I got a little chub up here.
I
was wearing a sweater on Saturday that was a little too small. So maybe it just looked weird on me. But I'm not fat.
I'm unaware of the Alex Strouf fat rumors throughout the Bears Twitter community.
I've been getting a lot of them.
It seems like it's insult roulette. You kind of just spin the wheel and say what you've seen other people say. Because, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Here we go. From Ben Brust's hairline on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
If Alex Strouf had any pride as a man, he'd get off this bleeping show and never make a public appearance again. Fat bleep is like 0 for a million on his takes.
Yeah.
Fat bleep. I weigh 170 pounds.
I don't know where that came from. I did come across that because it is interesting. The interesting thing is and sure we laughed at and maybe I missed it, but I don't remember Packers fans calling into Chicago radio to revel in their misery.
We may have missed it. I imagine it maybe happened, but I was listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning.
I cut that guy off so fast.
The very first caller said, I just want to say one thing. And then he was gone.
Yeah. I know what you're there for.
Yeah.
And I would, if somebody wants to come in and gloat, that's fine. They usually want to say something that would be an FCC violation.
Yes, correct.
As some sort of funny.
Yeah, thing. I'm not ready to produce KBN. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have really taken the ire of a lot of the Chicago Bears fan base.
Ben hasn't helped.
I've had Bears fans from outside of the state who don't normally listen to our programming reach out to me about your show.
Yeah.
It's gotten bad. I
mean, as somebody who has some sort of managerial level here,
cool.
That's
cool.
That's extreme. That's great. That's very good. We're doing it. The entire Barstool crew was listening to our post-game show.
Yeah.
And making that much of an impact, even if it's to dunk on us. Have your moment in the sun. You guys deserve it. Yep. It's been many, many years of misery. I do want to reiterate again, I'm very disappointed in Will Sommers' family. Who
it was an accident.
Who will never hesitate to dunk on us.
Did DTM send you a video too?
He did not send me a video, but I heard from his sweet mother.
What'd she have to say?
She just basically said something along the lines of "what now," whatever it is.
We're not going to be able to see this, and I've made the mistake of not sending this to Hunter, but I'll just play the audio for you. DTM sent me a video in his living room. Oh, the volume's not working. It's just them cheering.
Yeah. Cheese grater on head.
Only one.
Is
there
that
with
your house?
It's not my house.
I was gonna say that's like an estate.
Nice house.
Oh, never mind. It is my house.
Nice house.
Yeah.
DTM,
no
way
biggie.
to go. Even though both he and your mom will bully both Strouf and I.
They do.
Especially your mom responded to the one where I said, "I hate to see my friends this way." I was being a good friend.
You were being genuine.
Yeah. I didn't like to see that they were. Now, I liked it even less when things turned around and the Packers ended up losing, but I don't like to see Will sad.
Yeah. If anything, I lashed out. I think I replied to you and said, we're not friends anymore.
Wow.
But no, on stream, I reconciled.
You did rescind.
I dropped Strouf as a friend and added you back.
and then the poll on YouTube right now at ESPN Milwaukee. Do you like to see Will sad? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll get to those results in just a moment.
But
I do have a
Sommers family,
photo
ruthless.
I do have a photo of Will's dad. If
Yes.
we're okay with putting that up.
Oh yeah, just do it. DTM.
Go ahead.
A proud member of the MIA. Oh, good Lord. Where did you get this from?
In his finest Luther Burden.
Look at DTM.
You missed
man.
this yesterday. This is when we were texting.
This was in the group chat.
Oh, okay.
And I did say we need to air this because, I mean, as much as it's at our expense, that is one of the happiest people you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I gotta give credit. I
Also,
texted.
why does that cheese grater look so big? It looks like he's wearing a canoe on his head.
Well, DTM, Dan the man. That's Will's father, DTM. He's not the largest human.
No, but even that.
Big heart, though.
Big heart.
Big heart.
Like,
Big
I
heart.
understand it's going to look different on him than Chris Canty.
Yes.
I mean,
I texted our
brought
guy.
out the big guns.
I texted our guy Jim Rutledge this weekend. Did you see the pictures he posted? He was hugging his brother. He was hugging his dad. Like, it was like the happiest day of his life. Saturday.
Yeah, that was nice. I did see his Sunday get up, which
I didn't. Is it rough?
he's having his moment. That's all I gotta say.
Fair enough.
I like Jim. I think highly of him. When he's a Bears fan, I
tend to ignore him.
Yeah.
I hear you. All right, it's time now for what we missed. Anything we missed over the course of today's show. Now, we flashed this at one moment, but I think I entered rare air yesterday in terms of the Twitter world. If you've been on Twitter for a long time, you're probably familiar with the account Old Takes Exposed.
Is that different than Freezing Cold Takes?
Same thing. It's just it's at Old Takes Exposed, and then they go by Freezing Cold Takes. So same account.
I muted that account a long time ago because they got into a place where they were freezing cold takes things that were once true and then no longer were. Like, they went far enough back, and it was like people saying, like, oh, this guy's playing excellent. And then 3 years later, he's bad. And they're like, well.
I don't know if how many personalities outside of, like, Colin Coward has had a twofer day on Freezing Cold Takes. I got cooked twice by Old Takes Exposed yesterday. One for my Colston Loveland giggle, and one for saying last week, which I stand by, playing the Chicago Bears was the best case scenario for the Green Bay Packers. I don't really know how that's a freezing cold take because they lost, I guess. But, I mean, they shouldn't have. And then Colston Loveland to the Bears and me laughing at that. So a double freezing cold takes day for me. It's quite an honor, frankly. I don't know how many people have gotten double whammied in the same day. So, you proud of me, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm proud of is that what we're saying means enough that people are going back into the archives to find it.
Oh, dude.
I do think also that game and the result, despite the loss, being up 21-3 at halftime is the exact, that's the team we want. Did you see many 21-3 leads throughout the course of the Super Wildcard weekend? No, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The result isn't what we wanted, and we've diagnosed or tried to diagnose why that is. But having that sort of lead and then a historic collapse, like, you were still right there.
Yeah. Whatever.
And that's what bothers me about freezing cold takes is it's more of the aftermath and the most recent result rather than the actual truth of the statement.
Sorry, I'm getting into it on Twitter right now.
For some reason, the first time you explained it, I thought of like people saying like, "Wow, Pluto's awesome," and then Old Takes Exposed being retweeting that because Pluto's not a planet.
I mean, that is akin to what they do a lot of the time.
Well, that one's funny though.
I find
it's a joke.
I find it grating, and also it is
grating like Dan the Man's hat.
Yeah, it is. What's a good way? Like a way to? It's Twitter troll reaching mass popularity.
It's gotcha culture.
It is gotcha culture, big time.
Big time.
Well, I just wanted to say real quick because I had a really great weekend as hate watching a lot of the sports this weekend with the SEC not getting into the title game. And then I get the Packers to lose on Saturday and then the Eagles losing on Sunday. I was feeling really good going into that Sunday night game.
As the New England Patriots win in that one, kind of a boring game, the nightcap.
Well, yeah, the nightcap really Sunday, was like a really disappointing one for how great the other games were.
We got one left. It's Houston and Pittsburgh tonight, which I'm looking forward to watching Aaron Rodgers.
That poor old man.
Raj is going to win. Raj is going to win.
Strouf were talking yesterday. He's got one more.
He's got one more
left.
I think it was last week.
I think it's tonight. I think he's getting the win tonight.
I can't wait to watch him throw the ball to Kenny Gainwell 47 times because he's unwilling to face pressure.
Yeah. Big Kenny Gainwell guy.
Thielen.
Current state Steelers football is a net negative to the world of football.
It's like watching Iowa
stock
football.
Down to Hunter.
Yeah, it is.
Hunter just got stocked down by Mad City Brew, so there you have it. All right, that will do it for us today. We're back with you Wednesday to continue to try to figure out whether or not Matt LaFleur will be the head coach of the Green Bay Packers in 2026 and continue to preview the offseason, and we'll continue to take a look at, obviously, as the NFL playoffs continue. It will be Rams-Bears coming up this weekend, as well as Niners and Seahawks. So 3 of the 4 teams remaining in the NFC represent the NFC West, a very good division this year. The NFC West and the Bears. That's all that's left. Woof. Dark times.
I know we haven't seen, and this has been a big story throughout the season. I know we haven't seen the 1 seeds yet, but we've seen the 1 seeds enough. There's just seemingly no real difference between anybody.
Correct.
And I think the result is going to be one of the more, whoever ends up in the Super Bowl is going to be one of the more, they probably just had luck in their favor. Mm-hmm. For the Rams to get taken like that by the Panthers, I mean, goodness gracious.
And appreciate all the Bears fans hanging out with us. Just a reminder, you guys do have a game this weekend against the Packers.
We're celebrating today, and then tomorrow we're on a Rams film.
Oh, okay.
We're on a Rams film.
Yes.
Okay.
I started watching film.
It's unbelievable how many Bears fans are hanging out with us. I appreciate them hanging out.
Shout out Loki.
Crazy. Yeah, Loki loves you.
When are you guys playing?
Sunday. The time has not been chosen yet.
I've debated a watch party, a hate watch party.
I will not be participating in that.
Dude, hate watching is so fun. Love a good hate watch.
It's half of how I experience sports.
Yeah, I'm not participating, but I like the idea.
Coward.
I like where that's coming from. All right, we're back with you Wednesday, 12:30 Central, ESPN, Madison, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. And a reminder, if you missed any of our show or you ever miss any of our shows, just subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the ESPN Wisconsin app. You'll get notified every time we post a new episode.
Question for you and Hunter. The Bears fan that just gave me thumbs down that walked by in the 3rd Street Market Hall, would have been inappropriate to give him the finger.
No. Absolutely.
Yes. Got to rise above, Joshy.
I disagree. Joshy, stoop to the level, bro.
It was harmless. It is what it is. You know what it is. I was just thinking in terms of the program and the things we're trying to convey here. Me whipping the bird on camera. I certainly don't care if there's imagery of me giving someone the finger on the internet.
Yeah, sure.
I just don't know how we felt about that show watch.
I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
YouTube would have an issue with it, which would then affect our accounts. So you'd have
the finger.
He's just showing the Bears fan what finger Matthew Stafford injured.
Well, then maybe we can do the old read between the lines, pal.
Yeah.
Read between the lines.
Give him the index finger.
All right, back with you Wednesday. We'll talk to you then. Peace.